Hi, I'm Steve from Steve on PVCs. Hey, I wanted to stop in. The reason being, I got an interesting comment. I deleted it, and then it kind of stuck with me. And I initially responded to the comment, but then I thought, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't challenge people in the comment section because it's really not worth the time. But it stuck with me, and I thought I'd share it with you. Anyway, the comment was for all of us, specifically noted to me, but to the community. Um, is stop being a baby. That was the advice. Stop being a baby. It stuck with me because that's kind of what we've faced for so long from people is that they don't understand that we're not babies. This is serious. It bothers us, and we'd like to have a fix for this. It's not that simple. And I'm just going to be blunt. It's not that simple. You can't tell somebody just to ignore it. If they could, they might take a shot at that. They might do that, but they haven't done it. So telling somebody to stop be a baby, it stuck with me because it pissed me off a little bit. I'll be honest, it pissed me off because people don't understand. And then they come into the comment section and then they say stuff like that, and I'm like, there's still a lot of work to do. I mean, think of the mentality it takes for somebody to come into a video of one of mine, which I try to be very supportive and try to share my story, be understanding, and all those things. And to have somebody just pop in to feel they know, hey, just stop being a baby. So it stuck and it irked me. So I'd like to hear what you guys think about that. Leave it in the comments. Tell me what you think when people tell you that. I'd really like to know because to me, it's just like, I'd like to just kind of thump them in the head a little bit and say, wake up, be a human being, have some empathy, have some compassion. But sadly, that is in short supply these days. So anyway, that was just it. And if you don't have anything positive to say, just don't say it. If you want to be supportive, compassionate, understanding, show empathy, leave as many comments as you want. But if you're going to do that stuff, just bugger off. I don't need it. Nobody else here needs it. And I always just delete the messages so nobody else has to read it. So that was my short message. Okay. I'd like to hear from you how you feel when people tell you stop being a baby, just get over it. It's all in your head. Just move on. You'll be fine. I'd like to hear from that because it's changed for me. Before I was kind of dismissive of it, right? I'll just move to the next doctor. I'll be dismissive. But now my attitude is a little bit different. I think I tell people off a little bit when it comes to this stuff. Maybe it's because of the age you can see here, and just the not really giving a care what people think or whatever. But just keep in mind this place for support. I'd like to hear your thoughts and feelings on when you hear that. What's it like when you hear that? It's kind of buggery, but still like to hear you. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on to comments. Let's go. And there we are. My face is really washed out. But you'll forgive me. I hope you'll forgive me. What if I just move this over here? Will that not wash my face out so much? Nope, still going to wash my face out. That's all right. I wash my face every day. So let's go here. First, we got to do that. Oh, what did I do that checkbox for? I don't want to do that. I'm kind of nerdy. Does anyone have them happen about the same time each day? Good bada bing, bada boop. And I'm going to reply, I don't. They can vary, though there are times I have them in the evening when I lay down. Though mine are, I consider mine controlled. I do have them every once in a while, like I've said. And for me, laying down can still bring on PVCs every once in a while, for sure. But do I have them at the same time each day? Not really. This video really inspired me. Thank you for sharing your story. I'm also dealing with the PVCs and would love to follow your approach. Could you please make another video showing the exact food you eat in a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, how you combine them, your daily routine, which food you avoid completely, It would really help people like me that are trying to reduce PVCs naturally. Also, any supplements you take that are helpful, supplements that to avoid. Thanks again for what you're doing. This is a great idea. What's the name up here? Because my thing's cutting it off. I don't know why. Can I turn that off? Can I get rid of that? Yeah, we can do that. This is a rush. A rush? A rush. A rush for life. All right. Thank you for sharing, and I will see what I can do. Thank yous. All right, there we go on that one. Do you see me wave there? Somebody was coming into my room. I had to tell them to go away. All right, so did we give him a... Yeah, we gave him a bada boop, bada bing. What's he got there? I don't know. Look at that. I've already replied to that one. So we don't have a lot to do today. Let's go to this one. One reply. So Thaddeus1234, magnesium oxide, 500 milligrams a day helped me. I was getting over 2,000 a day after 6 weeks on magnesium oxide. Some days, none. Worst days around a couple hundred. My PVCs are triggered by certain foods, sugar and chocolate, and pickled foods, and MSG. So I already did a bada boop on that one. Do we have anything we haven't replied to? Let's keep scrolling. Oh, we got a couple here. So I did a bada boop up on this. Oxalates and cause remiss by depositing. Okay, we did that one. So he puts a little bit on his salad. That can't be enough to cause it. What are we talking about? Let's get... This is going crazy. Where did it go? There it is. One more. Did that one. Skip 6 heads, minutes ahead. Yeah, you gotta skip ahead on some of the live stuff. Let's see. There it is. Gee, Manetli. This is horrible. Elevated serum. I'm just reading. I don't want to read that out loud. I put a little bit on my salad. Can't be enough to cause it. Give him a bada boop. Cheese and other dairy calcium sources helps cancel out oxalates by binding with them in intestines, preventing the body from absorbing oxalate. They also contain lysine protein, which is known to cause cancer. And dairy's actually been studied and shown that it'll actually remove calcium from your bones. It's completely opposite of what you think. Don't trust me on it. Just go do your research. Don't tell me I'm wrong. I've read, over 20 books on this stuff and research journals. If you don't believe me, just go research it. But milk, bad. That's all I'm going to say. 22-year-old here with PVCs have been getting for around... I've already read these. Gosh, I'm caught up. Great video. Glad I'm not alone. Having them every other beat. Every 3 beats. Go on for hours and days. I had them like I'm talking about... Have you had them like I'm talking about? Thousands a day. Thanks. Yep. I have had... Where's my comma key? Getting around to the old stuff. We're dusting it off. See how you're doing? I kept up. Okay. Got that one going. What bothers my system doesn't bother. It would be great if everyone could use a CGM to understand what upsets their body chemistry. Oh. Look at that, about a boop, bada bing. Did that one already. Looking good. Did that one already. Why didn't I give that a boop and a beep? I don't know. Falling short, kids. How come I didn't? I'm terrible, guys. I'm just gonna give it to him. Let's get everybody a boop and a beep. Why didn't I do that? You know, I think YouTube removes stuff. Anybody else notice that? But I think we're pretty much caught up here. I think some of these are repeats, yeah? Where's my little scrolly deal over here? Glycine before bed lowers cortisol, anxiety, and body temperature, improves sleep. Good sleep greatly reduces arrhythmias. It can. That's true, Vince. That's very true. I've never tried glycine, but yeah, sleep's important. It's important. You know, your sleep hygiene's got to be good. As I've talked before, I was kind of dependent on benzodiazepines for sleep. I take one a day before bed, and I had to learn how to sleep again. And once I learned how to sleep again and do it naturally, right, things got a lot better. That it did help. It did help. You just gotta learn how to sleep again. Let's see. Did this one? We got this one. I'm not sure. Why am I not bopping and booping these? I'm just going to keep moving through here. I think we're doing good, guys. I think that's it. Oh, here's one. Had a cardiologist walk into the exam room on ER follow-up. He literally walked in, said hi or good morning, and immediately told me it wasn't a cardiac event. And on, chest pain, not cardiac. I interrupted him, did you see the ECG? He continued, no exam, no discussion. So I stood up, positioned myself so I could leave, and said, when you pull your head out of your ass, call me. You know, I remember reading this. I'll pop and bop this one. But that goes back to my comment. The first part of the video is, what do you do? How do you feel about that? How do you guys deal with that? I'm getting more disgruntled than my old age. Let's bottom beep that one. Going through a bad episode today, it's reassuring to know this is someone else's reality, as much as I wish it wasn't. As well, my own. You really took the words out of my mouth the way you describe it. Thank you. These are old. These are a year old. I'm so bad. While I'm watching this video, I just took a Xanax because my PVs are so bad I can't take it. You need a new doctor. Boom! I am Tim Foley. I'm 49. I've been having PVs since I was 16. They're so scary when they happen. Every time it happens, I wonder if it is me. This is it for me. Thankfully, so far, my heart has been able to correct itself and go back to the rhythm again. I've noticed some improvements after taking magnesium and CoQ10 on a regular basis. I hope you're well in managing PVCs. I know how frustrating and scary they can be. I don't know why I haven't been back that far back. I'm sick. You know, I didn't make a video about it, but I had the biggest PVC I've ever had in my life. This thing was huge. Now, I've been running along, doing really well, you know, blah, blah, blah. I still have them occasionally. This thing was huge. It took forever. I mean, we're obviously talking less than a second, right? But to me, it was like a lifetime. Had the biggest PVC. Hit my chest like a good old bass drum. Freaked me out. I've had PVCs for so long I can't remember not having them for years, and with numerous cardiologists telling me that you're fine. You aren't having that many, etc. I found a cardiologist that heard me and listened to me, then he put me on a heart monitor for quite some time. Can't remember, may have been 30 days. He did an echocardiogram, nuclear stress test, and he sent me to an electrophysiologist who said I had PAX, flutter, AFib, and PVCs. He ablated all the PVCs. He attempted the PVCs, but found that my PVCs were happening on top of the AV node, and you don't want to ablate there. You'll wind up dead or on a pacemaker for life. Not the one that kicks you in when your heart needs a little help, but a constant need for it. So are wholly dependent on it. I did feel better for quite some time after the other ablations, but it's quite common for them to start up again. And now mine. I know I'll be getting more ablations pretty soon. The PVC he's controlling as best they can with my sotalol. I hate the names of these drugs. I'm having the pacemaker option for when I just can't take it any longer. However, it has affected my life. I spend many days with no energy to do anything. I've canceled so many lunches with friends, trips, etc. because I just can't. I'm just thankful to be with an excellent cardiologist and the electrophysiologist now. I also have an implanted heart loop monitor that uploads overnight, every night, so that I'm monitored daily. You know, this is interesting, and I'm going to kind of stop with this one here. Ablations. My research has told me that ablations can be beneficial. Sometimes the first ones don't sick, and sometimes they just don't work. Because we often hear that ablation is the cure for this. And I don't think it is. My research tells me different. My cardiologist has told me different. But there's new stuff coming up, the newer ablations that are out there now. So I'm still curious, and we talked about that in another video. I'm still curious if those are better. Oh, let's do one more. Did you ever figure out a fix? I just had a heart cath and found out that I had a complete blockage, but they weren't worried because my collateral vessels had taken over, but they never found a reason for my PVCs. All they said was that it was normal. Had anyone found help? I'm going to do this. Hold on. Sorry for the late response, but I have luck. God, I can't type. With different foods and approaches. I've given them in some of the newer videos. Please take a look. And we'll give them the happy face. All right, let's stop there. That's a pretty good run. All right, let's go back. Let's nuke this. Boop. And let's go back to this. All right, so that's it. I just wanted to tell you, don't stop being a baby. If people think we're babies, that's fine. Kiss my butt. Kiss your butt. But just even in those other comments we've heard where people were talking about, did you see me do this? This was me telling my person to go away. But yeah. So I'd really like to hear. So if you would, throw those in the comments. How do you people feel when people tell you that? Stop being a baby, or it's all in your head, it's not going to kill you, move on, go away, leave me alone. What do you do? How do you feel? How should we respond? Anyway, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more, I'm going to do the video on the foods, all the foods that I eat that have really helped me. So I think it's a good idea. What else would you like to see? All right. I'm Steve. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you later.